We're here to perform a ritual that reminds us of our roots, of who we are, the need to improve and bury our differences and work together as one. We agree, we disagree, but we do it all for the love of nation. Indeed, this is one of radio's most important ritual, and it's only on right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Let me welcome you to the ritual I call That's My Opinion. So let us all gather and make truth good. Our topic, preserving the last stronghold. Preserving the last stronghold. I am turning the guns inwards today, folks. I am turning the guns inwards. Traditional authorities, chiefs, if we are to preserve the last stronghold. Folks, there are a number of people, Ghanaians, who think chiefs and queen mothers and traditional authorities should have been buried with the dinosaurs. And usually most people who have those opinions live in developed urban areas and are able to afford basic amenities. But in truth, there are some chiefs whose behavior sometimes make their thoughts valid. Yes, there are some chiefs whose behavior sometimes make their thoughts valid. Folks, I remember sharing the story of the styrofoam cup with you, which was about enjoying benefits that comes with one office rather than one's person. But today I want to break it down and even go further and deeper. And this is a caution to all of us, Nananum and people holding traditional positions. Nananum, Nime, Name, Togbeo, Mamao, your majesties from the north. Family heads, not excluded. Even though the principles are the same, the times have really, really changed. In fact, sometimes we haven't changed more so to adopt to the speed of the changing times. And I promise to do so on one show, the needed reforms in chieftaincy. I mean, it will be very controversial. People will just throw it away, but it will be the hard truth. The times, the principles are the same, but the times have really, really changed. And I think sometimes we are overtaken by events with the speed of time. But today, folks, I am focusing on the responsibility that lies with us today as a quote-unquote modern chief. Holding a historical office, yet you're a modern chief and have to speak in present terms regardless of the time. Many, many years ago, folks, the terrain was very rough, very harsh. And there are many chiefs today prancing about with big titles and accolades that if we were to reverse time, they could never have achieved what their forebearers before them did to earn those big titles that they hold today. Yet, folks, because of the bravery of their forebearers, their foresight, their love and passion, parcels of land, rivers, hills, and loyal subjects have been bequeathed us today without even lifting a finger. Now, I don't know if there's any greater gift than this apart from health and life. I don't know if there's any greater gift today apart from health and life. That you come and somebody gives you a gift of land, hills, waters, trees, wildlife. On top of that, loyal subjects who are ready to serve you. Apart from life and health, which other gift will be greater than this? Folks, today all one has to do to qualify to get all this is to be born into a family and picked by the kingmakers. That's it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to fight. You don't have to kill. You don't even have to slap anybody. Nothing. and it's all yours once you ascend the throne. Folks, these are possessions that have come at a higher cost. So even though we personally did not engage in those battles and struggles, we must treat it as though we were part. We must treat it as though we were part. And that's why in traditional lingua, there's no past tense. And I tell you, the great Otumfuo Osei-Tutu does it very well. He will always say I when he's narrating history well before his time. Because as a chief, you cannot forget the past that gave you this privilege that you enjoy. It's a taboo to forget it. Folks, I am raising this issue because we have to work even harder to earn the honor given us. We have to find the fine line between humility and decency. Folks, the modern chief today has to find the fine line between humility and decency, which is very thin, and tread cautiously. We have to be firm for the positive progress of our communities, bearing in mind that generally people would resist change. We should be mindful of land dissipation, protection of the vegetation and waters. Because, folks, the only thing left and active that bears our identity is chieftaincy. The only thing left today here that is active, that bears our identity true to us, is chieftaincy. Our education is foreign. And apart from it, even foreign, it actually educates us to become foreigners. Our governance system, completely alien to us, foreign. Completely alien to us. People have no clue what's going on. And when I say 4 years, no asaline, no akwakotua, but anything in between, they have no clue. Our religion, gone, foreign. Gradually, our language. Folks, healthcare and medicine. We've graduated from our herbs and our tree bags into now synthetic medicine. Our food, synthetic food. If we lose the traditional setup, we will be left with nothing significant. If we lose the traditional setup, as a people, we will be left with nothing significant that represents us. A very dangerous position. Folks, there is no country that has completely let go of their divine self, as in how God created them, and have been able to succeed or make any meaningful thing about themselves. Not one. Whether you agree or not, it's not a matter to be debated. The more we westernize, the slower we develop. It's a fact. The more we westernize, the slower we develop. And that's a fact. Folks, once upon a time, we had a deep and strong communal spirit, which is also a very strong part of us. I remember growing up in Dansoman and South Odoko, and you pretty much knew a great percentage of the people who lived there, you knew them. Some you play in their houses, some were not your friends, but at least you knew who knew. And every parent could straighten you. That was another integral part of who we are, the communal spirit, where we all looked out for each other. Today, we don't even talk to the guy who lives next door. Our children don't play with their children. Folks, today we have siblings. Siblings. One lives in Dansoman, the other lives in Osu, and their children don't know each other. I mean, it's scary. Siblings from one mother, one father. One is a lawyer in Osu, the other is a teacher in Dansoman, and they all have, one has 2 children, one has 3 children, and then their kids barely know each other. That's where we are getting to. Folks, that's where we are getting to. where even siblings and their kids don't know each other. So as for the neighbor there or your engineer, they don't even want to know. Don't even play with these people. Just sit on your iPad, go in the corner and sit on your iPad. Go and read a book. We have lost that communal spirit. So the only thing that one day, if God was to send an angel down to find out who we are, is if he sees some traditional activity going on, because otherwise we'll be lost. Folks, central government somehow seems very far from our local communities. Distant. They can't relate. And there are many communities that do not have any government present. They don't have any government present. Some are even cut off where the towns are only accessible by motorbike. And then you go there. Some even struggle. Once you get there, you struggle with mobile network unless you go and have a particular spot that you have to go and perch at a certain time, and then you can make and receive calls. Yet, folks, the 400 to 800 people living there are not killing each other. Their communities are cleaned, neat. COVID bar, correla bar, why, it doesn't go there. And you ask yourself, how are they doing it? They hardly seek police intervention, nor seek any court intervention because they can't even afford it. Who is keeping them in check? Folks, even in big towns where there are governments present, so expensive, there are many who seek help and interventions from their chiefs and elders. It's cheaper, it's shorter, it's fairer, it's quicker. When all else fails and matters are brought to the palace, folks are able to get the protection they need, because in the absence of that, there's a total anarchy. But in order for this to work, folks, we must at all costs respect and protect this institution. People should be taught how to relate, how to communicate. Yes, by all means express your disapproval or object strongly, but the choice of words should not denigrate. Express your disapproval, object strongly, but the choice of words should not denigrate the institution, because the community, the society would one day need to fall back on it. We are blacks and Africans. The fact that some foreigners will insult their leaders as part of their custom should not be our yardstick. We can't say today we are very civilized and so we are like them, and so if they are insulting their elders, we should do the same. That cannot be our yardstick. It should not be our story. And the price to pay in the absence of our customs and traditions will be too high. Folks, the price to pay in the absence of who we are will be too high. Yes, maybe we have not done well with education, the history, and therefore the love for nation has fallen short, because it is difficult to love something you know nothing about. Difficult to be proud of a history you get no benefit from, or history that you have no representation in. Bearing in mind the difficulty of our peculiar situation of multi-states put together on paper by a convention. Bearing in mind the difficulty we have of all these multi-states put together on paper by a convention, where the Gonja state, the Akwamu state, the Ashanti state, the Fanti state all come under one umbrella and say, now you are one people. They don't have a common dream. They don't share. They haven't fought before. They are not enemies. They are not friends. Nothing. But somehow, all these states have managed to live side by side in harmony. Somehow, we must preserve it. We must uphold it. But I know it takes two to tango. So Nananom should raise the bar. And we must uphold chieftaincy. Now, the reason why I feel the responsibility is more on us is because we did nothing to deserve it or to earn it other than just being born. Whether patrilineal or matrilineal, that's your mom comes from the family. Your mom can go anywhere, have sex with anybody, gets pregnant, 9 months, God bless you, you come on the earth, and if the kingmaker say it's you, when you insasi ni nyina, nipa ni nyina, nsuo popo ni nyina, yedi bia shonsa. Now those who fought, lost lives, battled, defending the territories, fighting. Some walked for miles because maybe where they settled first was hostile, and they walk hundreds of miles before they go and meet a land, maybe meet people there, capture them or drive them off or whatever it is. Today, all that is done and dusted, and they've given it to you. You must humble yourself and live up and beyond expectation. Because one year, and here the amount. Because if we don't do that, and the people do not appreciate and see our value, and anybody can just, utter the wrong words to the institution, it will get to a time when there's anarchy. You say, oh, Papa idio ofre ansa kwa abano kasu unyaya obejai. In every human institution, you need a place, you need an office, you need somewhere that when all else fails, you can call on that thing, that office, that institution, that person to say, peace, be still. For us, it is our traditional authorities. I know you have your piece. Choose your words carefully. 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541.
Good evening, another great king.
Ajiman Joseph, my brother.
I'm here. I hope you're doing well.
I'm very well. Let me hear you.
Before I go on, I want to ask a question. I believe chiefs are custodians of lands. But when somebody wants to build on the land or do something like Galamsey or whatever on the land, and the person is holding permits, does the permit permit the person directly, or the chief can say, no, you can't do this here because you are coming to destroy something for me? Can the chief have the power to stop that person, even though the person is holding a permit?
Well, if the chief is strong enough, because the surface right belongs to the chief, and then what's beneath the surface belongs to the state. So it depends on the power. If the guy coming is a multinational that has paid big money, sometimes can overpower the chief. But if if you come, the chief can tell you, look, get out of my land. I don't need you here. So it's a give and take. But the law is that what's beneath the soil belongs to the state, and it's the surface that belongs to you, the chief. So it's a give and take.
And another quick one. If somebody puts a phone or a camera in front of him, goes on social media, insulting others, or, bringing somebody's name under disrepute, is there any law that stops the person from, or that can get hold of such a person?
Well, yes. I don't know of the law of hand, but something called the other time and said yes. It's there's a law against using foul language against the chief. So even the law itself understands that, look, these institutions, hold communities together, and therefore you can't denigrate it. So yes, there are laws like that, Thank you very much, Ajima. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, this is Benjamin Adenta.
Benjamin, let me hear you.
Yeah, very interesting program this evening.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the angle that you're taking because of where you find yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But we, the observers, also have our questions,
Definitely.
and a lot of them. I'll begin from the Galamsey issue. If I come to your area, assume you have gold. I don't want to use Ashanti region. Let me use your area. Assume you have gold, and I come to settle, just build a kiosk. Nana, you will definitely find out your elders are there. So you can't tell me that people come from China all the way to Ghana doing Galamsey. You can banish them. You can banish your own people from your area, but you cannot banish people destroying our river bodies. The law that you can shut down radio stations, you're able to let them halt for some time. But then when it comes to destroy our rivers, that one you cannot, get those people banished. Really, royalties are paid to chiefs. Queen Elizabeth has scholarship programs that Africans benefit from. All the gold reserves we have, the royalties paid, buildings in Osu, Ashanti region, gold, all the wealth that the chiefs and yourself are getting, the lands bequeathed to you. How are your subjects benefiting from those? Because they are your subjects, and you're supposed to take care of everybody, and all of us must be okay. So the chiefs have myriad of questions to answer. Now, you go to the community, they say there's a fetish priest, and then to open a toilet, they need some human heads. I mean, where else in today's world does this happen? They are failing to modernize. The times have changed. Social media is here. People can critique you. So why is it that chieftaincy is refusing to develop? In the area where I stay, Jowulu, every month they come and take money. The traditional council takes money from every household. Some people pay 500 cedis per household. Some areas pay 1,000 cedis per household. Where are all the monies? We need to ask questions. We need to reform our traditional institutions, and we need to obey the laws and rules of Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, Nana, this is Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nana, since you said we are going to look within, I would start with Joy FM itself.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, every country or every people is defined by their culture.
Mm-hmm.
So what the people do, what they say, the things they wear and all that one defines them. Now I'm looking within this program, and I'm wondering even the mode of communication. And when your DJs come on the radio, the songs they play, they hardly play the lookout songs, hardly. And even in this contribution, if I start going vernacular, it's likely you tell me to change to English. So we have sold our culture and have imported other cultures that is now influencing the things we do. So if anybody is looking up from above, he can't see Ghana. He can't see Ghanaians. Because the food we eat, even fufu, I can guarantee you, a lot of people are not even using their hands to eat fufu again. I mean, they will cite so many other reasons. So our way of life has changed. And if we can start from within, from Joy FM, from all the other radio stations, and start localizing our content, gradually, maybe we will change and become the people we used to be. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Nana.
Nana, let me hear you.
I've come to realize that most of the contributing factors to our problems right now.
Can you speak a bit louder for me?
Yeah, is it better now?
Yes, better.
Okay. I'm saying that we can choose to understand it or not. But I'm saying, and I'll keep saying that most of the contributing factors to what we are today has been tradition and religion. It's not everything that was practiced that was good. And the transition from what we knew to what is today was and has been the problem. It's either we are not transiting well or we are stuck in our old ways. Banana, how can you be a revolutionist when you are stuck in the past? How? How does that work? You won't change. You want things to be done right. Yet you are so stuck in your ways that you are not even willing to allow yourself to learn new things and ask yourself, what am I doing away with? What am I adding new to balance what I'm holding on from wherever it is that I'm coming? That has been the problem to most of our issues. And common sense and wisdom, that one too is lost. It's lost in most of our dealings from head to toe.
Thank you very much, Nana. But I'm sure if we stick to our traditions and our customs, there's so much common sense in there that that would amaze you, which is very practical today. Hello, who's talking to me? 0302216541. We are looking at preserving the last stronghold we have left, whether we like it or not. That's the only thing left that's original, that has anything bearing of our identity. The names, the traditions, the drums, the proverbs, the wisdoms. That's the only thing left that's us. So if we do away with that, and then we have completely become something else. We just have to go and find a new name to represent who it is that we have now become. And so I'm saying that yes, this kind of respect and honor and reverence that we haven't worked for, we must up our game to live up to standard. That there's a fine line, folks, between humility that we need to tread, where humility and decency that we need to tread. Hello, who's talking to me?
Is this Justice?
Justice, let me hear you.
Oh, Nana, Echo.
Yeah, hey.
Oh, Nana, I do. Yeah, this is how I want to see our chiefs bring them together and educate them. Most of them are not educated, and to take such decisions is very difficult. And there be companies around them too. They are not supporting things because most of the land belongs to the companies, and they are not being accountable. If the companies to be accountable to the chief will not be there, and somebody will be digging and say behind the palace, and the chief is not aware. Please, this one, you are the mouthpiece. You can do it. Bring that together. Let them educate the young ones. From this, I don't think a chief should die in Ghana here. Then the one who come and inherit to be a problem. But this is the problem we are inheriting. Most of the schools are empty. There's nobody sitting on the street. So there's nobody taking proper decisions. It is happening in my area. Most of the schools are empty. If you go to all the regions, most of the schools are empty. So when we need the chiefs, we don't get them. This one says, and this is worrying, it's killing us. And one thing I want you to talk about, the Busantonis don't know the number of members in the Ebusina. And these boys have traveled to Accra, and they send street boys, they send junkies, they send drug abusers. So a day will come when we tell everybody should go and line up in the family so that we know where you belong. Pray for that day to come. All Ebusantoni will come out and bring the Ebusian list. Then find who is lost and who is not there. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Sly, Nana.
Sly, let me hear you.
So, I would like to say something about the insult bait. Nana, it started from somewhere. Look, it looks like we're getting to a point where when you are nice, when you make your case nicely, you are not hurt. Unless you've not realized it. That is what is happening in this country right now. But vent, insult, go hard. That's when you are listening to. Why? Why? So if that's the norm that has been happening all this while, what do you think the ones who are coming, you are teaching them? from up there. Because if I make my case nicely, constructively, without insult, and you will listen to me, and I see that people are going hard on you, and they are the ones that they are being heard and listened to and attended to, what do you think I'll do the next time? Obviously, I'm not coming to be nice anymore. I'll also go the way that I'll be heard. So if you want people to desist from that, they should be heard when they do it the nice way. Do you understand? Nana, do you understand? They should be heard when they do it the nice way. If you don't listen to them, then they'll go the hard way. And the correcting children, Nana. See, we live in a world today that even people who bet their own children are killing them. They are killing them all. The one that you trust with your child or not, or you don't even know whether he's killing your child or he or she is killing your child or not. You don't even know. So gone are the days where the environment we live in was so convenient that you can trust somebody with your child or nana. Now you can't anymore. Because ononomo concern okuneba. Now oba bewe. Nipa you think oh, this person is the one who's correcting my child. Bedu baby no yes it on or obano. Then it becomes don't you hear the news? Somebody who kill a child, then go back to sympathize with the family. This is the kind of world we live in. So back in the days thing that we used to do that somebody is taking, we can't continue, like we can take something out of it and practice it, but we can't say we are doing that whole and whole. That one day it will be very difficult, Nana, because people are killing us. People are killing our children. Even we the adults, they are killing us. How much more children, Nana? With closer relatives, so people you trust that they should look out for your child for you. They are the ones doing them the wrong because they are the ones closest. They are the ones you won't suspect. And it's happening. It's not hearsay. It's happening today. So who do you trust with your child to say this person should correct your child, look out for your child for you? Nana.
Thank you very much for that passion. But you see, and I get the sentiment because you see, if Nananum are to really sit up, Nananum are to really sit up and put their foot down and really value the positions that Nananum have, I'm sure a great percentage of some of our problems will just automatically wipe out. A great percentage, because Nananum wield a lot of authority and power within their communities. And so if they're able to set up and do things right, a great percentage of some of these distractions will disappear. So I really appreciate the sentiments that are coming. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
Nice talking to you, Nana. Nana, good work. God richly bless you and your team. It's not just a great work, I mean, a work that will help us to grow better as a country and as a society. The irregularities that are going on in this country concerning the law aspect, concerning the civil society, concerning the chieftaincy, the traditional sector, concerning the religious sector, whatever that is going on, we've lost so many things to ourselves. And the only thing that we are lacking out of every sector is loyalty. How we are supposed to do things right as it was. Loyalty. We should tell the truth. The thing was this. It's supposed to be this. Why have you changed it? Change it to the way it was. That is what we are supposed to go through. And we've all lost it. Nobody is able to tell the truth. And the reason why you are saying that others, yes, are becoming recalcitrant and then becoming, disobedient things, some stuff that are not supposed to be said because they are young ones. And when it goes too much like that with all these kind of irregularities, you hear that one guy saying that chieftaincy, difficulties and whatever, they are not able to install the leaders, put on the leaders so that they come and reason for the town or for the place for them to develop. And these are things that are crippling us and gradually destroying us because we don't have the heads. The heads are there and they are not coming together. One will take a decision somewhere because he is on it. And that decision is waywardly destroying us. What is going on? This is the thing which is destroying us. We should all be together and be loyal to ourselves, even if it is not me or you. Whoever that is supposed to do the thing that we used to do, the thing that are supposed to be done, whatever the Constitution says, whatever that we are supposed to do morally and rightfully, or else whatever that we are doing to ourselves is bad. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
God bless you too. 0302216541. And who's talking to me?
Yeah, it's Martin Siani.
Martin, let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana Sakwa, thanks very much for your educative program. And we expect chiefs to be custodians of all the area and the people under their jurisdiction. So they should protect their own subject, including the land. But it appears as if the chiefs are more interested in protecting foreigners than their own people. There are cases where foreigners have come in to pollute the land, destroy river bodies and the forests, which are actually, some of them are forests, some are sacred groves. Local people who are part of the Galamsey are arrested and then imprisoned, but foreigners are allowed to go away without anything being done to them. So are chiefs now loyal to their subjects, or they are loyal to foreigners? Are we not getting back into the old system where chiefs sold their subjects as slaves? I think there should be a change of attitude, look at the modern system to prevent the young ones coming in from beginning to attack their elders, just because they see them as not being loyal to them, but rather prefer dealing with foreigners to the detriment of the citizens who should benefit from the property bequeathed to them by their ancestors. I think this is where the problem is coming from. Our leaders, traditional leaders, should really look at their way of governing their own subjects. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One of the reforms right there. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, hello. Good evening, Anna.
Good evening.
Yeah, Abu Muhammad. I'm calling from Japan.
Hey, Japan, that's my area. Eh?
Yeah.
Let me hear.
Yeah, you said if the guy is powerful than the chief, so he can overpower the chief. So what the powerful people do is they use their power to do the wrong thing. So they overpower you. So why not use that your power and do the right thing instead? That's common sense. You see, there is no rule, there's no system. The powerful people who have position, they've positioned themselves, and you, the vulnerable, if you want to express yourself that much, and they use the police to intimidate you, they arrest, and they tell you boldly, and they will go further to tell you that, you know how Ghana is. So it is scary when the people you think they have to protect you will intimidate you, and they will tell you, you know how the country, you know how Ghana is. Then it's very, very scary. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This one says, good evening, Nana. In real terms, no chief. Traditional leaders should seek any type of assistance from the government in any developmental project. I say this because land is an asset, yet we sit aloof and beg politicians for developmental projects. Sad times, chiefs yield more power than politicians, but the tables have turned. God's own Ghana deserves better. Shame mixing Boa. And who's on the phone with me?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Martin Luther Laboni.
Martin Luther, let me hear you.
Yes, you allude to the fact that chiefs are supposed to be the custodian of our laws. You know something? The Bible says if the foundation of everything is destroyed, how can it be implemented? The matter of law says that he who seeks equity must come with a clean hand. The chiefs themselves, they occupy the seat illegally. Most of them. But most of them are not.
Just say some. Just say some. Just say some of them. Just say some.
Hello?
Just say some of them.
Yes, either way. I said some of them. I'm not sure all of them. No.
Okay, you said most. That's what I say. Just say some.
Okay, then I've got it. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Good.
Some of them have occupied the stage, the stool that they are, the skin they are, based on money influence. So themselves, they don't have the moral right to uphold what it is required of them. And that's one challenge, either through political or money. Another one is the issue of our family system. We have abandoned our extended family. Now we want to ask young people who want to ask our family, what comes to mind is the husband, the wife, the children. And therefore, when people believe or people advance this system of family, what happens is we are neglecting our extended family, because it will be difficult for you to punish your brother's son when he goes wrong, because you're not my father. Because of what? He sees himself as the family is the father and the mother and the children. And these are issues that are confronted. So for us to be able to, as you said the question, to be able to uphold the values and norms, vis-a-vis the foreign culture and values, we have to do the right thing. Let's instill the right person. Let's go to the family line so that whoever occupies the seat is the right person who has the right to do so. Until we do that, it will be a challenge for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that contribution too. And who's my last caller?
Yeah, I'm calling from Makunyania, Sisawa Ampadi.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Yeah, thank you for a good program. In fact, where we are heading towards is very bad. Some of our traditional leaders are not helping us, some of them. And I hope you, Nana, you are not part of the bad one.
I hope so.
We, the citizens, we are watching them. Do you remember the days when gunpowder is searching for a human being? You remember those days?
Mm-hmm.
And we are back to those days. We are still being colonized. And we are watching them.
We have to watch them and demand accountability. And that's the essence of Akwesida. I urge all, traditional areas who don't naturally, originally practice Akwesida to do it. It's just 6 weeks. You meet the town and discuss the way forward. Every 6 weeks. That's all it is. There's no bosomsem. There's no heathenism about it. Just every 6 weeks, come to the town, sit there, and have, like a town hall meeting. It's every 6 weeks, as a chief, have a town hall meeting with the main friend Akwesida. If you're uncomfortable about calling it Akwesida, just a town hall meeting every 6 weeks. And say happy birthday belated to Madame Comfort Abuaji Edu. Happy birthday to you, your 70th birthday. Yamishra Obebre. Madame Comfort Abuaji Edu, mother of Lady Kwafu Akoto of APSA, wife to Odeneho Kwafu Akoto III. And then I say congratulations to Awo, 25 years in media. Had a wonderful celebration on Saturday, where Goa really celebrated you on your 25th year in media, still relevant and significant. Yamishra Obebre. I want to say thank you to Manfihine, who came with us, Sabrema and Sasiraku. Say thank you very much to the Dodo Wahine, who also came with us, to Kukuru Born and Nete Kwesiajima. Thank you to myself, Aminom Koe. Which is a very, very revolutionary in chiefs, where, you have 3 separate towns, coming together as one. We sit down, we eat from the same bowl. So maybe it's a whole revolution on itself. Anna Myers Coleman, thank you for tuning in. Samuel Nikwejani, I see you here.